The film community has spoken. We want a category for stunt men and women at the Oscars. And now they're making movies to tell everybody we want it. So just do it already, Hollywood. The Fall Guy stars Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt and is about a down and out stuntman must find the missing star of his ex girlfriend's blockbuster film. From director David Leitch, who brought you Bullet Train, Hobbs and Shaw, and he was one of the directors that co directed the original John Wick. Also, interesting fact, David Leitch was a stuntman in Hollywood before becoming a director. So this is a passion project for him, and this movie has been getting hype for months. It premiered at a film festival and people have talked and it's just been getting roaring reviews. And I haven't watched physical videos, but it's really hard for months when this movie's being praised on Twitter. So I went in pretty excited to see this big movie, and obviously it's May 1st, so summer season has begun for us film fans. And it does kick off with a bang, but I will admit, I am not in love with this movie, but I damn sure had a good time with The Fall Guy, and I love that David Leitch made sure to let everyone know who goes see this movie. Stunt men and women do a lot for our movies that we watch and enjoy. They risk their lives every time they do a stunt, basically. And it could be a small stunt, and this movie just is a love letter to that. And I really appreciate that about this movie. And it does that with a fun enough story. Obviously, the biggest positive is Ryan Gosling. Listen, I think he's really underrated with his comedic acting. We saw that in The Nice Guys, and in this movie, he definitely has his moments. I wish there was more time with his actual character, because there's something that happens to him very early on in the movie that I felt like they could have actually gave him more of like a depth of a character with his stunt choreography. But the movie really doesn't give you that time with his character. But when he's just having fun, doing jokes, and getting thrown at windows and such, Ryan Gosling does a good job. I very much enjoyed him. Emily Blunt plays the director of the movie. She is also very fun in the movie. She's definitely having a good time. She has a few one-liners towards the third act that I found very funny. You got Aaron Taylor Johnson in this role, who's very over the top, but he was perfectly over the top where it wasn't like too cheesy, I believe. The rest of the cast, Winston Duke's in there, the woman from Ted Lasso. I mean, the cast overall knows, like, you're in a big summer blockbuster movie, and apparently it's based off a TV show. Never heard of the TV show, but hey, there was people in my theater that clapped during one scene, and I was like, that's really cool. And with the action, it's fun. There's some fun action sequence. I will say, a lot of the stunt work when they actually are on set is the animation that I was like really approving of. I was like, oh, it's really cool. You're showing the stunt work. You're showing it be done on film sets. But the movie at its core is a romance movie. It is. It's a romantic comedy, honestly, because Emily Blunt and Brian Gosling are bickering each other and what happened in the past, and now they're working together. And also, they got to find Aaron Taylor Johnson because the star of the movie is missing, which very much is the marketing of this movie, but it is a rom-com, I would honestly say. And I would say it was a good enough rom-com. I think there were times the movie was kind of balancing the action in the rom-com, especially with like music cues, which really helped the movie and the pacing of it. But once they're actually on screen with each other, I don't know if it was just me, but I would love to hear people's thoughts. I actually didn't really buy their chemistry. And that's like the core of the movie. I mean, they're both giving good performances, but what they're saying to each other never felt like a real relationship. Like, it felt very forced, and that's actually my biggest gripe, is I didn't buy the chemistry with our two stars. And they're not on the screen with each other a whole bunch, but when they are, I mean, they kind of just bicker with each other, which is adds like cuteness to a relationship, but you gotta have like emotional core and like heartbroken, because there is something that happened between the both of them, but they treat it more like a joke, and I think it kind of hurt the characters, in my opinion. So I gotta say, that was probably my biggest disappointment, is when the focus of the movie is romantic comedy, but I didn't really buy their chemistry, which sucks, honestly. But I mean, the movie overall is fun. I mean, I had a good time. It was definitely a little long. I'll say there's definitely a point in the movie where I was like, all right, this is the end. And I was like, oh, there's another 25 minutes. And the ending's fun, exciting, and there's a lot of funny moments. There's one sequence involving a spirited animal that I found very funny. I think they did a really good job with moving of the camera in certain spots that you could see this animal. I found that very funny. But in the end, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was a fun little watch. I do think it might be a little overhyped because I didn't really buy the 2 stars chemistry, and that is like the core of this movie. It's a little too long. Some jokes do land, some jokes do. I mean, that's most comedies. But in the end, I had enough fun. I'm gonna give The Fall Guy a B minus. Again, I'm giving it a positive review. Like, I enjoyed the movie. I would totally watch it again. Probably not in a theater, but I would definitely recommend this is a theater-worthy movie. Like, this is worth seeing on the big screen. And there's good action, there's good funny moments with a good crowd. Like, it has all the summer stuff that you want in a summer movie. But me personally, after seeing it, like, I could totally wait to watch this, like, on 4K or something like that. But anyway, guys enjoyed this movie review, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody!